Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode. So recently I got hold of a new report from Forrester. It's called the Forrester Wave SaaS Ocean Management Analysis for Q4 of 2023. Now, some of you might recall that I did an analysis of the SSPM market and SSPM use cases some time back. That episode can still be found in the playlist. Um, and After that, when I saw this report, it essentially meant that the use cases and market is definitely catching up. Typically, an analyst, when they publish report, they would at least expect a revenue of almost $100 million and a number of vendors. So this report from Forrester and it essentially talks about this their vendor evaluation criteria. Now, for those who are hearing about the Forrester Wave for the first time, Forrester Wave is a methodology where Forrester helps anybody who's reading that report or their essentially their customers to evaluate vendors in that particular domain, and they provide reports around software, hardware, and services. And they're not the only analyst. Gartner does that using their Magic Quadrants, essentially a similar uh, method to evaluate various participants in that particular category of software, hardware, or services. Now, going back to this report, SSPM is a emerging category of security products in the SaaS security space. What this report or evaluation has done is they created a 21 criteria list to evaluate the SSPM products, and all the vendors who participated were given a score. And then the report highlights leaders, strong performers, contenders, and challengers based on these scores. Essentially, it's an assessment of top vendors in this market, and it does not represent the entire market for sure. If you talk about the criteria, they are in three categories. Number one is the market presence, which includes the revenue of SSPM market, or this particular vendor's revenue, the number of customers uh, that this company has, talks about strategy, vision, roadmap, community, innovation, partner ecosystem adoption, pricing flexibility, and transparency. And the third part of the criteria is the use cases, which focuses on IAM admin, user management, SaaS application catalog, shadow IT detection, connected apps, configuration detection, SaaS app configuration templates, threat detection, data protection, license management, extensibility, and integration in scale. Now, I'm not going to explain all these use cases. I highly recommend you to go through the Forrester report, although they haven't given details on each of these use cases. What they've done is they've given an analysis of each vendor's uh, capability against their criteria. Okay. However, I do recommend going through my previous video on SSPM to understand most of these use cases that are captured there. Okay. Now, specifically in this report, the report is is asking customer or has asked customers to look at the vendors who provide three set of use cases on high level. Number one is around SaaS application configuration templates, whether they are mapped to compliance uh, standards like PCI, NIST, CSF, CIS, and others, as well as configuration best practices. The second part of this is threat detection, which is focused around ransomware detection in SaaS application storage, overshared data identification, and ability to generate a list of risky users with the highest level of privileges. And then the third party and consortium based threat data, which includes hacked passwords, vulnerable configuration, access patterns, etc. Okay. Also, it uh, has it has asked the users to look at offense extensive IM capabilities for SaaS apps. Now, this didn't quite ring a bell uh, with me because typically I found IM products that are built for this purpose, uh, that they do a better job of understanding uh, the IM entitlements. Okay. However, going back to the requirements, uh, the re- the evaluation expects the IM vendor, or sorry, this SSPM vendor to have extensive IM capability, which includes graphical representation of users' access to data, risk prioritized view of users and permissions that a user has in apps, as well as in active admin detection. Again, I've seen IAM and the essentially the identity governance products do a better job of this. SSPM products are focused more on threat detection and posture management. Okay. Now, if you look at the results, there were, I think, 15 vendors, including the top tier from Palo Alto, Zscaler, and then startups like App Omni, Adaptive Shield, SpinAI, Exonius. Some of these companies have been there for some time. Zylo, Salesforce, Do Control, Qualys, Troll, Authorize. I'm not listing any how each of them performed. I think I highly recommend you to go through the report. It will not be fair to read out the entire Forrester content. I'm just trying to put up the summary here. Okay. Now, my personal view, as I said, one, SSPM is evolving. An analyst covering this entire landscape is good, which means the use cases will get evolved, the market will evolve. We would be expected to talk and understand SSPM for our organizations. Okay, so learn about it. The other thing is, what I found missing is, of course, the extensive IM capability expectation from vendors on this. I think that's not required. I have not seen many vendors focusing on IM, but the focus should be around SaaS posture and threat detection in SaaS application, including things like sensitive data upload to SaaS application, remediation workflows. Also, uh, what happens if you detect a threat in the SaaS application? Okay, how do you handle that? So workflows and any workflow engine around that, I think that should be the focus, or an integration with third-party technologies like a SOAR platform to handle it. Uh, Also, I don't think SSPM should exist as a standalone category. Uh, it will eventually evolve to overall SaaS security capability, including CASB and DLP use cases. So essentially, everything around the SaaS ecosystem and security use cases. Okay. With that, thank you so much. I again recommend you to go look at the report for details on evaluation criteria, use cases, and how vendors are rated. Uh, Thank you so much for listening. This would be the last episode for this year, and I'm thankful to all the listeners and people who are sharing the content and dropping comments, feedbacks, etc. I know this is a short episode, but wanted to keep it small for the year end. I'll see you next year. Thank you so much.